Hey future scientist, my name is Chelsea, and I heard that you're very interested in what we do here in the poop lab. But before we can begin, we have to put on our most important equipment, which is our PPE. Lab coat, goggles, and the most important piece of equipment of all is our gloves. Now that I'm all dressed, I'm going to give you a tour of the lab and tell you about a typical day. This is Sophia. She also works in the lab. Right now she's working on tubes which come in our kits for blood and processing with urine. Walking around the lab. Very important to have a fire extinguisher in every lab because you never know when poo may explode. Over here we have what's called a fume hood. This is where we process all of our stool specimens that we receive in a day. And there we have scales, racks. We have a special tool in here that we call the metal tool because it opens up our buckets. We also have granulated cylinders and 10% bleach solutions. When we process stool specimens, we don't smell anything because it's in the fume hood. It gets sucked up. We have biohazard pails, which is where all the leftover buckets go after we're done with them. This is my favorite piece of equipment. This is the poop shaker. It shakes our buckets of poo when we receive them for the day. When it shakes the stool, it homogenizes the stool with the buffer. As you can see, this is a very clean but messy lab. Going over to this side, this is where we process blood. When we process blood, we get purple tubes and we also get red tubes that look like this. Each of these tubes have vacuum in them that keep the blood stable. These are pipette. We also have what's called a pipette gun. When we process blood specimens, we separate it into plasma, serum, and red blood cells. Walking back. Oh, hi, Ray.
Hi.
So, Sophia, how do you like your job in the lab?
It's a lot of fun.
Is it a lot of fun? How much school have you had for this job?
What?
You're still in school.
Oh, yes.
That was a funny joke. Courtney's a little camera shy. Hold on, getting back to the interview. So, I heard that you guys had a few questions for me, if I can find them. Such as, what is our normal day like? Well, our normal day, we typically sit around for a little bit, wait for the stool specimens to come from UPS or FedEx. We count them, we break down our kits, and then we process them. We also have to wait around for the blood coordinators to bring us blood. What we are testing for is biomarkers within the stool so that I'm sorry, I needed to gather my notes, as all scientists should. What we are working on is preventative cancer research, primarily in colon cancer, in order to find biomarkers in stool, blood, and urine, and to see if there's an alternative way to detect colon cancer early versus colonoscopies, because that's a very invasive surgery and no one wants to do it. I showed you some of the tools and equipment that we used in the lab. Let's see. What's the worst horror story you've had with a sample? Well, my worst horror story with a sample is what we call poo murder, which is where we put it in the paint shaker, which I showed you earlier, and if the lid to the bucket is a little too loose, then sometimes it can spill out. It's very smelly and really gross to clean up. Why is poop different colors? Well, a lot of it has to do with your diet. If you eat a lot of green vegetables, you're going to have more green stool. Let's see. How much school did you get to work here? I graduated with my degree in biology and chemistry. But as Sophia said, she's still in school, so you can work in a lab even if you're just going to undergrad. What's another one? Okay, well, it looks like I covered most of the questions. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have more questions, feel free to ask. I'm always here. Thanks again. Have a good day.